Today's special guest is Canella. She loves fashion, I promise. She just her hair is not the best today, but she usually looks better than this. Okay, since Canella isn't talking, she's just gonna join us on the side. But anyway, welcome back to another episode of That's the V, where we talk about fashion, fashion people, and opportunities in the creative industry. Today's episode is all about New York Fashion Week and modeling. So I did put like a little question box in my personal IG story asking about topics that you all want to learn more about or want me to talk about. And a popular one was how to make it in modeling. So that's something I think I have the most knowledge in from any other fashion creative platform. So I know a little bit of like everything in the industry, but modeling, fashion modeling is definitely my top. I mean, that's what got me into the fashion industry. So I love talking about it. And if I can share something that's going to help other models out there or people that want to get into modeling, well, hope this podcast is heard and viewed to answer those questions. So modeling. Before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about New York Fashion Week. It just happened and ended Tuesday. So the day I'm recording this is Wednesday, February 18th. So it basically ended yesterday. um, and I mean, honestly, from what I saw, because I am usually there this year, I did not go, but I saw that from a lot of fashion people that I have connected with in the industry. It was like this February was just something about it that I think the weather, in all honesty, that it was just harder for people to get there, or the people that live there were just like, I don't want to get out of my house. But from what I did see, I want to spotlight the independent designers of New York Fashion Week. I know like Tory Burch is amazing, and I love that they opened Fashion Week. They usually close New York Fashion Week, so that was a fun twist. But the smaller designers that are coming up, I think those are the ones that people are missing out on. I think they are just investing more in their productions and making it more soulful. I think it's just more unique, more, I mean, the name says it all, more independent. So I would definitely keep an eye out on that rather than the bigger brands, because I think that's what's really gonna change the fashion industry. Fast fashion is leaving, hopefully. I mean, it's horrible for our planet. And independent designers, although they can be a little pricier, I think it's definitely worth it because they're usually one of a kind pieces. They're well made, they're more like taken care of. I think it's just like people full of passion that want to really invest in it and have it done with quality and care and soul. Canela. Ignore Canela, please. She's just a filler for today. One of the designers that really stood out to me from New York Fashion Week is called Gaia. I think I'm saying it wrong. Please bear with me on these podcasts. But I will tag them in the description and you can view their designs. And I just saw so many people talking about them, and like where the fashion show was produced, it was like a church looking venue, very like Renaissance style architecture. And I love when designers, again, I've talked about this in the past, really make it all as a whole. It's not just about finding a venue and like throwing models out there and your designs. I think you need to make it a whole story from the moment the guest walks in. That's what's going to sell the brand, the way you made the people feel. But I think that's all I have in New York Fashion Week. I don't want to talk too much about it because compared to Paris Fashion Week, I wasn't as driven or like attached to it. And I mean, living it virtually, but I know Paris Fashion Week, I had a lot to say. I had a lot of like designers and pieces and things that happened that inspired me. And New York Fashion Week, it didn't do that. So hopefully September is better, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. But now moving into modeling, well, I will say, like, if you are a younger model or aspiring model, there is restrictions still in the industry of height and sizing if you want to be a runway model. And I would just, my biggest thing is shoot high, but be realistic. There's so many types of modeling out there. And if you are truly someone that's like, I want to be a model and I am going to be a model, you will be and you can be. And it doesn't matter how tall you are or your weight or the color of your skin. Honestly, social media is such a big thing now. You can really start selling yourself as a model and be an independent model by putting yourself out there on your own social media. But you really have to be realistic on what type of model you're going to be. If you know you're not 5'9", that's a little harder for runway. But I do know designers who are being more inclusive and having models of all heights and sizes. So just put yourself out there, really work on your walk. I think if you want to be a runway model, biggest thing, your walk has to be killer. Like, uh biggest recommendation is to find either YouTube videos that can really guide you, or if there's an instructor, modeling instructor like myself. Hi, I do that as well. um, you can definitely get into the industry by learning from other models who already do runway, or if there's a modeling school or modeling workshops you can get into. Invest in those. Modeling agencies will sometimes have those classes to help you like groom your modeling skills, but it's just being very persistent. So I'm just going to really take it from my experience. I started when I was 13 years old. I walked terribly. I was the shyest person you've ever met in your life. I hated it. I was like so not in my place when I first started doing that, but it got me to gain confidence. It was just like watching the other models be part of it, and like the way they walked and how they posed and everything. It's that like feeling that I would see through them. that inspired me to like, okay, I want to feel like that. I want to look like that. And at 13, I don't know anything. So I left modeling, took like a year from it. And when I turned 15, I was like, you know what? I feel confident enough. I feel like comfortable enough to try this again. And I did. And got into a modeling school, which helped me just learn from others and instructors. And I was there every single week because they had weekly classes. And it was just that, like practicing over and over my walk, my pose, um, going to all the castings. Oh my gosh, experience. No one's going to take that away from you. The experience you gain from just trying it and putting yourself out there, even if you're not the best that first time, no one's going to be the best the first time they try something. You just have to do it, try it. And it was that, like being consistent, being persistent, to the point that I was there literally like for hours. Even like for the castings, I would stay over time, networking, talking, and like seeing how the other models would do it. And then I would just like suck everything in as a sponge. And I guess they noticed that and realized how like consistent I was. And I started helping out in the modeling classes and eventually got to be an instructor myself. So I was doing modeling classes and giving these classes for, gosh, I don't know, it was like 5 to 7 years. It was a while. It flew by, but from that, I just learned from others and eventually put myself into bigger cities because I did start in my hometown, El Paso, Texas. And I'm like, well, there's only so much you can do in a hometown that's not fashion driven. I put myself into the Texas Fashion Week in San Antonio, which is really cool. Like, I highly recommend if you're in Texas, do the Texas Fashion Week. Look into it and just learn from it. Their production is amazing. But went to that, looked into like, okay, I want to go into LA, so looked into castings there and tried it there, and then finally got to New York. So New York Fashion Week is the ultimate, I feel, in the States, fashion show experience you want to do. But same, like you have to go to all the castings, you have to network and get all the experience that you can. And portfolio building. Photography is also going to help you a lot. If you don't have a portfolio, even like raw footage of how you look with just a black tank top or jeans, that's like your canvas for designers, casting directors to look at. Really invest in those. Or if you have friends who take photos, or I mean, phones now are great to submit yourself to castings. Always have a walking video of you. So find a long lit hallway that can really showcase your walk to submit to online castings, because those are very popular too. And what else? So, photography, if you want to do more commercial work, which is paid very well, really look into that. And if in your hometown you don't have that ability, just try to build your portfolio from photography. Like, try different types of photography, do editorial, do dramatic, do something more edgy. If you already have that, or you have too much of one thing, try doing something else that's going to be more beauty oriented. So makeup, close-ups. Find what you feel more capable and comfortable with. And the thing about modeling is that you want to be able to kind of do it all, because as a model, you are a canvas to a designer or somebody else's vision and you want to make it come to life. So you want to be flexible. Don't get discouraged by no's because you're just not part of that vision. There's always going to be more opportunity. And that's the biggest thing. Don't let yourself be brought down because someone told you no. There's always going to be so many other yeses out there. You just have to keep the door open for them. And that's just like a quick overview to really thrive in the fashion industry if you're just starting. I will probably make another episode about, once you're in it, how to like get bigger and better. But for now, little wrap up. Put yourself out there. Try all the castings. If you don't have a portfolio, build it. Get all the experience that you can to get those photo opportunities, from commercial work to more editorial to beauty close-ups, and having your comp cards, that raw photo look. And just keep going even after you have gotten those no's. That is, I think, the biggest push. Like, there's going to be good days and bad days, but social media will really change your life if you allow it to. So just put yourself out there, make those videos, post those photos, because a lot of casting directors are also looking through your Instagram now. I've seen models get casted because of how good their social media is. So keep that in mind. If you're not a big social media person, that's fine. Focus on your physical digital portfolio. And that's the V. If you have any questions or want me to talk more about a subject, please DM me and I'll be sure to create a more detailed video about it, or podcast. So, yeah. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to follow at That's the V Podcast on all platforms for more fashion content. And a big thank you to our sponsor, JAG Premier Advertising Agency. If you're looking to get on platforms like Hulu or Netflix, check out the link in the description.